Well, there's always like a new hairstyle to start today. So, 10 minutes. Oh, well, let's see. Somebody wanted me to talk about Riverview. Interesting place. West Lawn, East Lawn, Center Lawn, Crease Clinic, Colony Farm, where the psychopathic killers were, Valley View, where the old timers were. So, I decided to go, and somebody suggested that an adult basis, so I went there. I'm not going to give you the year, but it was a long time ago, and the galaxy was quite young. So, first place was Crease Unit. I believe A4. Wow. A lot of details in this whole thing. I mean, I got to skip over a lot of it. Um, I was given shock treatment, insulin shock treatment, chlorpromazine. They found that this was not effective and dangerous, as well as they had to give me let's see, antidote for it. Misdiagnosed. Agoraphobia. Treatment. Relaxation exercises only, no medications. However, suggested I wanted to get Valium. I like Valium. Then later I graduated to Xanax. Diagnosis, psychoneurotic phobic react, basically. good name, is it? And psychoneurotic anxiety react. It's a diagnosis. Um, well, look, it's going to be quite a story, isn't it? It'll take forever to do this one. But anyway, so time went on. I had a lot of, let's say, encounters with women and as well as a few men. That was rather exotic and fun. Being hypersexual as I am, I enjoyed it. One, Rosalie Jones wanted to marry me, by the way. I said no, no, no. So she went into a kind of a depression state. The center of Crease Clinic was office buildings, or not buildings, but offices. And on weekends, they were kind of not used. Sometimes the doors were left open, unlocked. Went into a laboratory and saw body parts. There was a chapel in the middle of Crease on the fourth floor, and that's where I had some, let's say, encounters, as well as a psychoanalytical room with a one-way mirror. Nobody around. Maria and I went in there on a weekend, and let's just say we had a lot of fun. I got to skip over a lot of stuff. This could go on for hours. On Riverview Adventures. Uh, One time I was with a lady, I think it was Ann Coulter, and I were in the recreational area, basement, Crease unit. And they always had these self-locking doors, they just would close and you're locked in something. So we were in this, the RT section, recreational therapy section, and got locked in by accident. And I took a dumbbell set and ran it to the door and knocked the whole door down with a frame and some bricks because nobody was around to get us out. Okay, so we went to dinner. Okay, I'm skipping over a lot of things. Let's see. A judge hung himself in the Crease Clinic library. I tried to break the door in. I had the staff came running in with keys to open up the Crease Clinic library. There was a steam pipe. A judge, by the way, a patient, had access to the library on weekends. Decided to hang himself. Had to give a statement to the RCMP. Okay. As time progressed, through many different things, we had we had the dances on the weekends at Pennington Hall. That's where I occasionally run into a psychopathic killer who is guarded by other people. Staff from Colony Farm RT unit. I did encounter these people and talk to them, and man, they freeze your soul, man. They are something else. I met a lot of Jesuses in there, people with schizophrenia, psychosis, manic depressive psychosis, a lot of attempted suicides that did happen. It's very bad stuff. I had to give statements to the staff as well as the RCMP. Again, Constable Brookbank was in charge up there. So as time marched on, I moved up to West Lawn Building and got to see, I was on A1 and A2. Okay. I was put up on C4, backwards, for punishment for not going to school. And I actually witnessed a murder, staff killing off a patient, which I did report to the RCMP. I gave statements to Constable Brookbank, put me in protective custody. I'm skipping over a lot of stuff, by the way. So I gave statements, and I was cornered by the staff that I ratted out in the laundry room. They wanted to beat me up or something like that. I mentioned that to Constable Brookbank. That's when he put me in protective custody. Wow, crazy. I did have a gun collection in that hospital, A1 and A2 ward, under the bed, because I bought guns. You didn't need all the crazy stuff you need these days to buy rifles and pistols and that kind of stuff. Pistols had to be registered, but anyway, that wasn't an issue. So Dr. Slichter wanted me to put them in the dispensary where they dispense medication. So I did. Because other patients were kind of upset that I had a gun collection under the bed. Plus radio collection right by the bed. 50 bed ward, A1, A2. Those guns I took when I decided to leave the place, because Dr. Slichter and Dr. Alice Kramer said, if you ever get bored staying here, just let us know. We'll write up the paperwork, give you $20, and get you set up somewhere in Vancouver. And one day I did. I just left. But there's a lot of stuff I had to go cover if I was to really do this. I wrote it up on my Internet Movie Database profile, as well as if you look up West Lawn, Riverview, Essendale. I wrote up quite an extensive article on those websites. So that's some of my Riverview things. I went to Hillside, which is kind of a part of Riverview, Essendale, or whatever you want to call it, that prepares you for going outside in the real world kind of thing. You make your own meals, you do your own laundry, and all this stuff. That's why I started up a tractor in protest to somebody who was going to be punished. I started up a tractor and said, I'm going to bulldoze down the pool, although I was only joking. However, they got kind of panicked. Anyway, so, oh my goodness. So I moved to downtown Vancouver after that, to Skid Row. I think it's 5 West Hastings Street at the Drexel Rooms. Had my gun collection there. I bought for $20 only, around the corner, a good old 303 Enfield rifle. Remember that? Then I got put an ad in newspapers in North Shore News. Got a place at 1458 East 29th Street, Lynn Valley, North Vancouver. That's when I started up my my machine rooms and Tesla stuff and other things, as well as a massive gun collection. Trudeau brought in gun laws where you need an FAC, Federal Acquisition Certificate, which I did get. Had to go to court, big story, a lot of media. Had the backing of all the gun collectors in Canada. Had one of the biggest collections in the world of 50 caliber Browning machine guns and machine guns at 1458 East 29th Street. You can see some of the media stuff on that. There was daily media on the gun control things for 2 years. I won all my cases, got all my machine guns back, and got my FACs. Progressed to the Hutchison effect stuff. As you see, the vintage tapes and videos of that time, which I still got to upload it all to the internet. I uploaded some of it, but 150 more videos to upload to the internet, so it's going to take a while. Plus documentations, plus other countries, Japan, Germany, Austria, USA, Canada, and so on. Documents, papers, videos, 150 videos to upload. So, onward and upward. Let's see. I like George Hathaway. I was watching George Hathaway the other night. And I think it was 2016, his little lecture on something. And he mentioned me and said, "Oh, John, here's a picture of John. Had all kinds of fun. He was real then, but unreal now." So I don't know what Georgie meant by that. I probably am quite unreal, aren't I? Yeah. Anyway, I have to apologize that I think George is hurt that I kind of abandoned him and his group. I apologize for that. Sorry, George. I know you're one of the best scientists around, and sorry that I hurt you by acting crazy and going off on my own. But, you know, it's just, as far as media goes, I was never trained to be a scientist. As far as media goes, it was fun doing it for a lot of TV shows, 300 of them, presenting it to different people over the years who phoned up and make their own comments. So I'm sorry that you're hurt and you don't seem to have followed into my other relationships with partners and producing the effects and making them happen and putting them all over the place. It's your way of doing things. I have my way of doing things. And I'm not an inventor, not a scientist. I don't claim to be. I have no idea what I'm doing half the time. Well, I do, but I'm learning all the time. So anyway, that's some of the stuff going on here. I just into vintage machinery. Now, if I didn't know what I was doing, I'm sure the Artificial Reef Society of British Columbia wouldn't allow me to take apart warships, which I did for 5 years. Or the RCMP would not give me an FAC permit if I didn't know what I was doing. Right? And what else? I was given lots of responsibilities, I took care of them, and did very well. So that's some of the stuff I'm just throwing off because of the George video of 2016. On to bigger and better things. Anyway, so covering Riverview, that's some of it. A lot more to all this stuff, and I appreciate you requesting a video about my adventures at Riverview. I could go into a lot of detail, could do a whole movie on it. I was just watching a film on Tesla and his missing papers. Well, 80 trunks did go to his birth country. Missing papers, FBI, it's a small amount of papers. The bulk of it was in Vancouver. Thomas Lee Richardson's home went back to the United Kingdom through Cantor Realty when he passed away way back in the 80s, I believe. Thomas Lee Richardson, when I met him, was very old and had a relationship with Tesla, as well as his adventures. He would talk to Jack Webster, radio host, and CTV news host Webster Talks. So then I met somebody else, Lauren St. Ives. His great aunt was Tesla's secretary. When she passed away, a lot of papers were auctioned off. Lauren St. Ives is located in San Francisco. I mentioned this to various people. I believe it was Dr. M.D. White managed to contact relatives of Lauren St. Ives, but haven't heard anything from Dr. White. I put up change.org with all the information on Thomas Lee Richardson, so forth and thereforth. So that's another story for another time. Tesla's friend Thomas Lee Richardson, whose house was literally full of stuff, of Teslas. Have no idea why, but there was other things too, from Freddie and Phil of Adnac Salvage, who encountered somebody with, seemed to be Tesla, who had Tesla coils that they sold as scrap. God, there's a lot of stuff to cover, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to shut up now and just, I think this is more than 10 minutes. This is a test video also. Yes, I'm wearing new hair. How do I look so far?